Welcome into the Sharp Sports YouTube podcast, Friday Live. My name is Andrew Sharp. Excuse me. Well, the Denver Broncos come away with an absolutely awful 10-7 victory over the hapless Oakland. Excuse me. Man, I need more coffee. Vegas Raiders on Thursday Night Football. That was a hard watch. The Denver Broncos deserve credit for the win. However, they have some serious issues for an 8-win football team. It's hard to believe that this team is now 8-2 with another key AFC win under their belt. But that was shades of 2011. 2011, the Denver Broncos had Tim Tebow in there after starting 1-5 with Kyle Orton, put in Tim Tebow, and they were winning games despite the quarterback. As I was heading to New Orleans, they were on I believe, a 6-game win streak. I'm headed to New Orleans next Friday, and the Denver Broncos are on a 8-game win streak now. But it's really quite painful to watch this team play football these days, and we're going to talk about a whole lot of it, the good, bad, and the very ugly. But a lot of the ugly is what needs to be covered because the good is the defense. The defense is outstanding. The defense is amazing. The defense, honestly, is playing even better than I projected, and I projected them to be a top 5 defense. This is the best defense in the NFL right now. They're the single-handed reason the Broncos are winning any games. They are unbelievable. They held Geno Smith to 16 of 26, 143 yards. He was sacked 6 times. He had one long pass of 31 yards. A pick, and a final rating of 60.3. I heard a little statistic on the radio as I drove around a little bit this morning that basically Geno Smith was pressured on, I believe it was 22 of his 26 dropbacks. He was under pressure, which is that's an insane pressure rate. Absolutely bananas. Defense deserves all the credit for that. The Vegas Raiders had less than 200 total net yards of offense. With 188, they were giving up sacks left and right, and yet somehow this game was still a game because the offense and Bo Nix are non-functional at this point. They're not even an offense. It's really, it's not an offense at all. An offense would actually produce something. The Denver Broncos, and I wrote this down because the broadcast on last night, the Broncos had 6 total yards of offense in an entire quarter. 6 total yards of offense in the first quarter. It wasn't just the bad starts, which I basically become numb to at this point. It continued. There was just no flow to the offense. Yes, they ran the ball. They ran the ball a tiny bit more. J.K. Dobbins, 18 carries for 77 yards. However, as much as I have preached the run game, I have preached a well-balanced attack. And there is no well-balanced attack when the quarterback is completing basically at a 50% clip, is scattered all over the place, throws 2 interceptions, and basically is running around like a chicken with his head cut off. I watched a lot of college football. I still watch a lot of college football. This was the Bo Nix at Auburn. This is the Bo Nix who got booed off the field and was called Bo Picks by Auburn. Now, Auburn football has not been all that great in the last, basically since Cam Newton. So there's a little bit to be said that maybe it was a bad situation. But Bo Nix didn't make it any better, which is why he had to transfer to Oregon and then was selected by the Broncos. Bo Nix had an excellent season down the stretch last year in 2024, and I was preaching draft and develop, but there is no development happening here. There is either an out-of-sync play calling with the coach, who either thinks that he is Drew Brees, which he is not, or Bo Nix is not completing basic stuff. And I would lean towards basic stuff. I'm going to have to go back. I was just listening a little bit to an excellent local show, Cecil and Lammy, and Josh Dover on the 104.3 The Fan, and they were talking about watching on Prime Vision, where you can see, it will show you basically guys that are open as the quarterback drop backs, and there were multiple guys open over and over and over again. So Bo Nix has to not only play better, I honestly thought at this point at halftime, um, as much controversy as it would have stirred up, and I understand why the coach didn't do it at that time, as it's a home game. The whole nation is watching. You're playing an important divisional game. Honestly, I thought it might have been beneficial for Bo to sit the second half, and I can't believe I'm saying that. But it might have been at that point he was so broken in that first half in terms of just basic running the offense. It might have been better to play the backup quarterback at that point. Have the young man sit for a half, watch, see who's open, see who's getting open, see how plays are being called, plays are being developed, plays are being shuffled in and out. Because this was not even just bad, this was non functional. This was Tim Tebow, 2011, who all credit to Tim Tebow for what he did in the NFL, but he's not a functional NFL quarterback. And Bo Nix is, quite frankly, headed that way. This is officially in a sophomore slump. Don't be confused. The Raiders on defense are awful. The Raiders defense, other than Max Crosby, who's uh, an absolute god at football. Max Crosby is amazing. Other than that, this Raiders defense as a whole is at their defensive rank. I'm looking right now just because I'm curious. Yes, their total defense is 19th. Nothing special. Points allowed 25.5 per game. Total yards allowed 14th. So they're about average, which means that an average defense you should be able to produce more than the total yards of offense that the Broncos had for this game, which was anywhere from around, I want to say total yards was somewhere in the 300 range. I'd have to look right now, but it's not even about the total yards. The total net yards. I'm giving them way too much credit. Basically, the total net yards was 220. Not even, and the 220 feels hollow at best. So, it's a very, I'm not feeling encouraged at all because at this rate, there's two problems. One is that eventually you will not be able to play someone as terrible as the Vegas Raiders, the New York Jets, the New York Giants, all of these teams that the Broncos have been taking advantage of, as they should. That's part of the way the NFL grind goes. But you're playing the king, the poobah, the dynasty next week, Kansas City, and it's in your arena. It's in your home arena. And if it looks anything like this, and the Chiefs' defense, don't be confused. The Chiefs' defense and the Broncos' defense are probably the two of the top three units in all of football. And I'm not encouraged. I'll put it that way. I'm not going to pick at this rate. I cannot pick the Broncos in good conscience against the Chiefs. And it's unfortunate because it's going to get a lot of coverage. It's going to get a lot of hype. You're going to get the big boy CBS crew out here to watch the game. The Broncos luckily have kind of a mini bye to perhaps assess things, correct things. But according to the coach, we've just got to clean some things up. Hey, Sean, it's a hazmat spill, buddy. This isn't just cleaning some things up. Your quarterback is playing terrible. Your quarterback's playing like a quarterback who had to transfer in college. So, and I understand that lots of NFL coaches do the coach speak on to Cincinnati. Bill Belichick mumble along through the press conference. But I swear, if Sean Payton says that we've got to clean some things up again, that's his catchphrase. That's his absolute catchphrase for we had a disastrous night. I don't know what I'm doing in terms of developing a young quarterback. It's clear right now. It's just not. Like, he can say he thinks he's not doing the right stuff. Bo's not listening. He's either turning him out or he's not amenable. I don't know what's going on. There's a clear disconnect there. You can't tell me there isn't. And cleaning up some things is not going to work. It's a hazmat spill, Sean. This is a hazmat spill. Your quarterback is having entire quarters of 6 yards of offense. They had 24 rush yards in the first half against a Raiders team that really can't defend the run. So none of it's working. The good news for the Broncos is that they're the first team in the NFL this season to 8 wins. It's just I don't know what to say. So this is a Super Bowl defense, by the way. Super Bowl, I have no problem with saying Super Bowl for the defense. This defense is honestly as good or better than the no-fly zone in 2015 that won it all, completely destroying Tom Brady and everyone, and Cam Newton and everyone in their wake on the way to hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. This defense is absolutely tremendous. Tufunga has really found a role in this team, which is amazing because he just brings so much tackling energy and coverage energy and everything. Just an insane amount. The Broncos defense. I'm gonna circle back to the defense before I'm done ranting and raving because at this point it's just uh, a pointless discussion until the Broncos decide to do some work on offense. But their tackle and combo and sack numbers are insane. They had another six. The Broncos had another 6 sacks in this game. Another 6 sacks on top of the 40 odd they already have. So they're gonna blow. They're gonna blow they're gonna get close to the record for the all-time sacks by a team, and they're definitely going to lead the league. There's not even a question about that. Defense, and this is, by the way, this is playing without Patrick Surtain, their best cover corner, who's an absolute stud. Didn't even matter. Geno Smith is awful. Granted, I'll give you that, but this defense is. You can win a Super Bowl with this defense. If you gave me, we'll pick a random team. You gave me the Seahawks offense, which is kind of average to good with Sam Darnold. This team would win the NFC. No, not even. You'd have to have a bad day not to win, to at least get to the Super Bowl with this defense. They're absolutely, absolutely gross. And it's just a shame because I hope it doesn't divide the locker room. I don't think it's divided the locker room at this point, but we're getting right on the cusp of shades of 2011 Tebow and 2017 with the defense, which led by Vance Joseph then, led by Vance Joseph now, is absolutely incredible, playing at frankly, a historic level. But the offense has to be better. In saying all that, so the Broncos have a little bit of a mini bye coming up where they have all the time in the world to really assess where they're at as a team. And at this point, they should really lower their expectations for the offense, as have I. Just get first downs, honestly. Get first downs. Because this team they really can't even get first down. There's no chunk plays. I don't care about the chunk plays. I don't care about the special. I don't care about the crazy play design that the coach who thinks, he invented football. He didn't invent football. He's good at football, but he didn't invent it. Thinks that he has all the answers. Well, then show me. Show me the answers, Coach Sean Payton. You're getting paid a boatload of money. Granted, the Walton Penner Group can afford it. They're worth billions. And you're not going anywhere because basically they trust you. But if you said this is the Super Bowl roster. On your defense, I agree. But it's time for you to actually dig in and coach this kid to get him to do something because this is not going to work. This is not going to fly. And I'm frankly nervous at this point for their next matchup with the Kansas City Chiefs because the Chiefs are for real. And if anyone tells you they aren't, they don't watch football. So buckle up, Buttercup, as they like to say, and put in some work because now you've got, at least luckily you won. So you got time now. Watch the games on Sunday. Apparently correct the film. I don't know what that means, Sean Payton, but sure. Anyway, a bit of a rant and a rave, but I couldn't help myself. Almost went on last night after I got home from work, but decided to go to bed and do it this morning, and I'm just as fired up this morning as I would be last night. So thanks a lot. Once again, my name is Andrew Sharp, Sharp Sports YouTube podcast. A little bit of a live stream Friday on the Broncos' horrible 10-7 win over the hapless Vegas Raiders, who the idea that the Raiders were actually going to be a good and a playoff team this year is still the funniest thing that I've heard in the entire preseason. Nick Wright is eating a lot of crow on that one. And I still watch the show, Nick, if you ever watch this video. But Denver Broncos come away with a 10-7 victory, 8-2 on the season. But it is not looking good for this offense. They have to improve. Unfortunately, we're more than halfway through the season, and I'm afraid that they won't. With that being said, Sharp Sports YouTube podcast, Andrew Sharp, thanks for joining me. A little bit of a crazy live reaction Friday, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.